What follows are a few short clips, some excerpts from different sessions of my course, Mindful Choices in a Complex World Living Without Regret. The course is available on Udemy, and for those interested in exploring this further, you will find a link to the course below the video. Should I take a coffee or some juice? Should I take a safe job or follow my passion? Should I marry now or later? Do I bribe to get my job done? Unending choices and dilemmas. Life's choices can sometimes get overwhelming, and every decision feel like a gamble, leaving one entangled in webs of guilt, what ifs, and sometimes feelings of regret. Have you ever made a decision that you have regretted? A choice that in retrospect doesn't appear to have been quite correct? An action that you wish you could change? If yes, then these sessions might be of help to you. We live in a very complex world today. Pick up any newspaper, tune in to any TV news channel, open any news app, and you will likely come across stories about people that will make you wonder how could such highly knowledgeable, highly educated, and apparently decent people do the kind of things that they have done and keep doing. Closer home, if we were to look at our own lives, in all probability, we will be able to find instances of times when we have wished if only we could go back in time and change some of the decisions that we had made. Go back into the past and make a different set of choices of how differently our lives could have turned out to be. In a sense, we have all become decision making machines. In a world of endless options, from picking a career to which shows to binge watch, to deciding whom to spend the rest of our life with, to dealing with the relationship dilemmas, or information overload, or workplace dramas, our decisions shape our lives every moment of every day. As I said earlier, we live in a very complex world where today it is becoming increasingly difficult to separate the fake from the real. Where terms like fake, real, true, false, ethics, values all have acquired a tremendous fluidity, continuously changing, continuously evolving. Do these terms even mean the same things that they used to anymore? How then do we make choices that later do not feeling us, that later do not leave us thinking, why did I do that? Or worse, how could a person like me have done that? Yes, our choices and our behavior often appear to be irrational and filled with questionable decisions. Now, one way of understanding this is that regret always has its source in the past, but is always experienced in the future. Whatever we wish to change has already happened, it's already moved into the past. And it is only now, which was the future when we made the choice, that we wish to change something. The reason this happens is because we are all not particularly good at imagining and visualizing our future. In fact, the noted behavioral economist and Nobel Prize winner Daniel Kahneman had first explained this concept beautifully. If only we could remember that we are the same individual throughout our lifespan. Our 5-year-old self, the 15-year-old self, the 25-year-old, 50-year-old, 75 and 90-year-old self are all the same person. And what we do today, our choices today will have consequences. And these consequences will be faced by not someone else, but by the same person making the choice, not right now, but sometime in the future. A frequent regret that people express is, I wish I had taken better care of myself, physically, mentally, spiritually, financially. But what does it really mean? Close your eyes and picture yourself at, say, 80 years. Wanting to go back into the past and wishing that if only you had not blown up all your money on unnecessary fancy stuff or putting on a show for others, you wouldn't have to worry about every small expense now. What is the worth of that kind of mental security? Wishing that your younger 25 or 35-year-old self had not been so selfish. We live in an imperfect world. Choices will go wrong at times. Regret will visit at times, but you now have a compass. Let regret become a mild whisper, not a roaring shout in your head. Use this framework of questions next time you struggle to make a decision, big or small, particularly where a clash of values is involved, where no matter what you do, you have to sacrifice something. This awareness, this mindfulness will help you cut through the complexity and guide you towards the life of internal balance, inner alignment. A reasonable question can arise: how does mere awareness really help us? This can best be illustrated by a short story which I had first heard narrated by Osho. It goes as follows. There was once a very skillful thief who went to a Sufi master seeking enlightenment, but the thief placed a condition to the master. He said, I have been to a number of so-called saints and masters seeking enlightenment, but all of them have asked me to give up stealing as a precondition. This is just not possible for me, as stealing is my second nature, and it's the only thing that I'm really good at. The Sufi master replied, the so-called masters that you have gone to must have been novices, for I'm not concerned at all with what you do. In fact, if you're skillful at it, I will insist that you should continue doing what you are good at till you become a master at it. The thief was taken by surprise and very happy. However, the Sufi master added, there is one condition from my side too that you have to satisfy. If you agree, then come back and meet me after 7 days, at which point I will take you as my disciple. The condition is that when you go to steal, you must do so with full awareness, conscious of every single act that you're doing. The thief thought this was no big deal, for stealing was his second nature. He readily agreed. 7 days passed, after which the thief came and fell at the master's feet and said, Master, you are a very cunning man. For 7 days I have been unable to steal anything. Whenever I have tried, each time I break into a house, I am reminded of your condition to be fully conscious and aware of each act. And when I am conscious of what I am doing, that I am taking something that does not belong to me, that I am depriving someone else of something that he must have struggled hard for, I am just not able to do it. In fact, for the past 7 days, I have not been able to steal anything at all. That is what awareness does. It makes it very, very difficult for you to go for choices that do not align with your inner self, choices that may later lead to feelings of regret. That is the power of acting with awareness. If this sounds about right to you, and you yearn to find that fine balance and be able to sleep like a baby again, it's best not to hesitate. Join in and begin this engaging journey